Hey, it's Andre, and I finally finished the last 4 episodes of Invincible. I know it's been a while. I look forward to some people in the comments telling me I'm late talking about this, because that's really helpful and inspiring. Also appreciate all the people who never heard of this show and have been appreciating me talking about it, or who have seen this show and enjoy me talking about it. And boy, we need to talk about it, because these last 4 episodes, oh my gosh, this show is wild. So let's wrap it up. I gotta recap the last 4 episodes of spoiler alert, I'm gonna get all into all the Invincible stuff in my recap, so just letting you know, you've been warned, spoilers. Mark has gone full on superhero. He is loving his role as Invincible, but he's getting so much into it that he is not doing the rest of his stuff really well. He's not doing good in school. He keeps standing up Amber or being super late, hanging out with her. He even has to have a talk with his school principal of Reginald Vell Johnson High School, Principal Winslow, voiced by Reginald Vell Johnson. That makes this the best show ever. I love that the school is called Reginald Vell Johnson High School. The principal is named Principal Winslow, as in Carl Winslow, and he's voiced by Reginald Vell Johnson. I don't care about anything else in this show. That's the best part. Mark also has a run-in with Titan again. That was the black dude that could turn into a rock body around him that he fought earlier on in the series. But Titan, we now find out, lives in this small area that is being controlled by a mob boss named Machine Head, who has literally a machine for a head, and he talks in auto-tune at various times. This is basically the Marvel Netflix episode of Invincible, because Titan tells Mark, yeah, man, you go out and fight all these aliens and creatures from another world, but we got some crimes happening right here in town that you superheroes don't seem to take care of. And Machine Head is ruining our entire neighborhood. So what you gonna do about it? And Mark even has a conversation with his parents about if he should help Titan smaller matter than what they're usually used to. And of course, Omni-Man, who don't care nothing about no humans, he's like, nah, man, don't waste your time with that. But Mom, of course, being that voice of reason, is like, you got to choose to be the superhero you want to be. So if that's what you want to do. And Deb is also going up against Nolan in how to take care of Mark, because she's getting real suspicious of what's going on with Omni-Man and what happened with those Guardians. She even found his suit that had a little bit of that blood on it. And they're like, yeah, that ain't your blood. So Mark agrees to help Titan stop Machine Head, but Machine Head knew what was up, so he hired some muscle to take care of them. And dude, he brought all these villains out, including this one called Battle Beast. I think his name is Thok. Basically make a wuzzle from the comic book character Thor from Marvel and Lion-O from the Thundercats. Like, merge that together, that's Battle Beast. And Battle Beast don't play around. He is brutal. Like, a lot of people talk about that Omni-Man Guardian scene. A lot of people definitely talked about something we're going to talk about a little bit later in this video. But this part was pretty messed up too. Like, Battle Beast with that big weapon just slam, wham on everybody. The team comes out to try to help out. Doesn't help. This dude, Battle Beast, almost kills Black Samson, almost kills Monster Girl, and almost kills Invincible, who is not feeling very invincible right now. And the only reason why they're still alive is the Battle Beast at one point was just like, y'all not even a challenge. I'm out. I was like, dang. And right when Mark is about to pass out, he looks up in the air and there's old dad looking down like, pathetic. Doesn't even come in to help. You know Omni-Man could have helped them, but nah, he just like, nah, you gotta live with this, son. The GDA arrest Machine Head, take all the fallen warriors back to base so they can get them better. And they try to help out Mark, but at the same time, they also get a little bit of Mark's blood because they want to check it out and see if there's any way they can go up against it, just in case there's a certain former superhero that they might need to fight against now. And it ain't looking good because they're just like, man, you know, these dudes can take a punch, they can get hurt, but they don't seem to really break down. And after all that, we're like, all right, Machine Head's gone. Everything's good now. Titan's like, I'm taking his place. Probably for good reason, because he has a daughter and a lady. So he's now like, now we get to live in a better place, a much bigger place. But I also now happen to be the top crime boss now the machine head's gone. So win-win. Eventually, Mark recovers, tries to go back to normal life. He's like, let me stop this superhero thing for a while. Let me reconnect with my best friend, William. Let me try to get things good with Amber, because Amber's like, I'm almost on the outs with you because you keep like disappearing, but I'm trying with you. So Mark's like, look, let's go on a college weekend. You know, look at our prospective future. Even gets to the college, is all like, oh man, this is what I want to do. Amber, let's go to college here together. It'll be great. Oh, by the way, there's this random dude at the college named Sinclair that seems to be kidnapping people and turning them into half human, half robot hybrids because he's trying to make the better person, but his experiments go wrong and starts attacking people at the college. You know, that old thing. I remember those days in college. Mark is able to stop these things with his punches. William is even able to stop his boyfriend who got turned into one of these things with the power of love. Don't take money. But in the process, William finds out that Mark is invincible. And okay, obviously he's a superhero. Obviously he needs to save the day. But Mark did kind of leave Amber and William behind. And eventually he meets up with Amber again. She's like, you left us. What the hell? And she's like, we done. And then later on, he's all like, okay, here's the deal. I'm invincible. And she's like, I know. I ain't stupid. I've seen you run away for weeks and then all of a sudden Invincible shows up. I got it. But you lied to us. A different approach to the, hey, by the way, your significant other is a superhero. Because usually it's just like, oh, cool, you're a superhero. Yay, I love this. Or, oh, cool, you're a superhero. That means I'm going to get kidnapped in every episode or movie. But this time it was just like, yeah, I appreciate what you're doing, but like you lied to me. And at the moment that we were being attacked, you didn't like think maybe put us in a safe space and then go do your thing. You were just like, peace. And she's like, look, I can't handle that. That's too much for me. And while all this is going on, Eve's just like, I'm done being a superhero. I'm going to protect the rainforest. She's living in a tree house. She's using all her powers to make trees grow. She is Captain Planet now. She has become Captain Planet. Everything's a tree. Another scenario that's happening is Robot. We finally start to find out more of why he released the Mauler twins and why he wants them to work for him. Because we've learned that Robot is not really a robot. He's actually a dude in a tube that's all deformed and he wants a new body. The Mauler twins obviously know how to create clones of themselves or himself becoming themselves. So he's like, that's why I let y'all out. Use your magic, make me a body. I want a new body. Here's Rex Splode's DNA. Use that. Let's get that body going. But the Maulers are like, yeah, I don't know about this dude. Like, we can we trust him? So they're like, let's just have a backup plan just in case. Let's just dig up the grave of the Immortal and just have his body around in case we need to revive him to bring him back to life to protect us from this dude. Like you do. Omni-Man also knows that everyone's starting to suspect him now, and he has some conversations with folks that got me nervous. He goes and meets up with Art Rosenbaum, the guy that makes the suits, and they just have like a chill out conversation, drinking beer and stuff, and he's just like, you know, I just want to let you know, I can always rely on you, Art. And you can see Art the whole time like, oh God, oh, he knows that I know. Oh God, don't. But he doesn't kill him. He just goes away. And I was like, oh my God. But it was so intense because the whole time I was like, oh, Art, don't. Not poor Art. I like Art. And there was another time he met up with William. He met up with Mark's friend. He's just like, where's Mark? He punched the top of that car. That car came in. I was like, oh God. And at this point, the GDA is like, we know Omni-Man did it. We know he killed the Guardians. We're going to try to stop him. And Omni-Man's like, sure. Let's give that a go. Just kills everyone and everything that tries to stop him. They even recruit Sinclair, who made basically those human robot super soldiers, and was like, look, you did wrong, but your technology is kind of sound. We might need that to help us stop Omni-Man. It doesn't work. He destroys them all. But hey, it's a good attempt. We even start to learn that some of the monsters and things that attacked, these were actually creations that the GDA did because they were trying to test Omni-Man to see how far they can push attacking him to see if there's any way to stop him. and nothing has worked. They even brought back this like Cthulhu looking thing that he fought earlier. They brought like a stronger version of that back out. And when Omni-Man is being attacked by this monster thing, Mark finds out and he's all like, hey, help me out. And he's like, cool. And the GDA is like, oh shoot, they teaming up. This is not good for us. Remember how I told you the Maulers dug up the Immortal's corpse? We get to see all these flashbacks of his history of all the times that he's been alive, including one time I think he was Abraham Lincoln. But then he eventually comes to, and the moment that dude is back, he's like, where is Omni-Man? I'ma kill that fool. Ah! And he finds Omni-Man. He's like, Omni-Man, I'm coming for you, brother. And so the Omni-Man and the Immortal are fighting like hardcore. He's like, we doing this. And then Omni-Man's like, man, I can't deal with you no more. I'm just gonna have to kill you again. Does it again, but this time there was a camera crew. Monitors were on in Times Square. This was a John Walker situation. This death got seen in 4K. Everyone saw it this time. They're like, oh shoot, Omni-Man just killed the Immortal. This can't be good. And even Mark's like, what the hell, dude? And Omni-Man's like, hey Mark, we need to talk. So Omni-Man's like, look son, so I'm from Viltrum. We're kind of a war planet, you know, survival of the fittest type of thing. We fought each other to see who was the best of the best. A lot of people died. Then we decided to go off to other planets, other galaxies, and have them rule under us because we were the strongest protectors. We knew they were weak without us. And if they went against us, then we killed them. You know, that's just what we do. We just took over a bunch of places. But as we got smaller, we decided rather than going as a group, we just kind of individually go off one by one to different places. I happened to come to Earth. I was going to take it over. But then I met your mom and she was all sweet and kind. So we like got married. And we had a kid, you. And then I was like, I'm hoping that you're going to become a super being because if you're a regular human, I'm going to have to rule you too. But you luckily turned out to be a super being. So now we can work side by side and take it over the Earth. Doesn't that sound great, son? And Mark's like, no. Mark's like, I don't want to rule this planet. I love this planet. We're here to protect them. I want to take care of these humans. Omni-Man's like, these humans suck, man. They're not as good as us. We're amazing. He's like, well, what about Deb? What about your wife? He's like, she's like a pet. It was like, what? And then Deb saw that on the screen too. All this is getting caught on camera. She's crying. And I'm just like, oh, this is messed up. And you know, Mark was like, you can't talk about my mom like that. I'm protecting my mom. I'm protecting these humans. And Omni-Man's like, you really want to do that? If you saying you want to do something different than what I'm saying, you know what's going to happen next, right? And it definitely happens next. We get a full-on Omni-Man versus Invincible fight. But it's not just a fight. It is a, hey, Invincible, I'm going to show you how I don't care about these humans because the entire time we fighting, I'm also going to kill a bunch of humans. Like, I'm going to zap some, you going to save one from a plane, and as soon as you get him down on the ground, he's like, oh, I'm happy. I'm just going to come in and crush his head. There's one scene when they go on the ground, and there is a subway. Train is coming, right? The train is coming, and Omni-Man's like, I'm going to show you how these humans mean nothing to me. Puts Invincible out in front of the train. And the subway train is breaking through. And you know, he's super strong, both of them. So just bodies are just splatting across his face one by one. We see it. We're just like, men, women, children, all of it. Just, and just, he's just having to take it. He's all like, Daddy, no! Daddy, this is wrong! And Omni-Man's like, I don't care. I don't care about these people. I want to rule them. You with me or not? Think, Mark, think. Oh! It's so wild. And Omni-Man, Nolan just beats the hell out of Mark. Like, it is just bloody and just and he's down on the ground and he's just like, if you just team up with me, like, don't fight this, Mark. Let us be a team. Let us take over these humans. They need us to survive. And he's just like, no. And he's like, all right. How about now? No. How about now? No. How about now? But then Mark hit him with them emotions because Nolan tells him, he's like, look, the way that we age, we're going to be here for hundreds, thousands of years. Everyone you know is going to be dead. What will you actually have in the future caring about these humans? And then Mark was just like, you, Dad. I'll always have you. And then Nolan got all huffy, and he had some flashback of his kid winning a home run at a baseball game, and finally understanding what it means to have his son be happy and how that makes him happy. And he was just like, I'm gonna fly away. Woo! 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 So Mark eventually recovers. The GDA is like, hey, thanks for helping out. Team appreciate it, including Robot in his new tiny Rex body. Mark even meets up with Alan again and just like, wow, a Viltrumite not taking over a planet. That's pretty cool. That could be the advantage that the coalition of planets might need. That being said, if the Viltrumites find out that a Viltrumite is on a planet and not taking it over, that could become a problem. But then they're like, but you know, at least until then, you can chill. Nothing's gonna happen after this. And then we just see this montage of every single villain that we've seen so far. We get a montage basically of all the characters to see where they are right now. We see Doc Seismic underground about to rise up. We see Sinclair making some more of those super soldiers. We see the GDA trying to bring the Immortal back to life because they probably need all the help they can get. We see the attack that's happening on Mars, and will that come to Earth? Probably. So obviously a lot of loose ends that can definitely be approached to in season 2. And that is where we end right now with Invincible. I had a blast watching this show. It was just really cool to see a show that was clearly inspired by not only its own comic, but also there's definitely characters in this that you're like, oh, I know what that's kind of portraying or what that's kind of referencing, while still being its own thing. And of course, bringing a different perspective to the whole superhero world. This is why, again, I don't look at superhero as a genre the same way as comedy or drama or something like that. I feel like there's a lot of different aspects that you can bring to the world of superheroes. You can do comedic stuff, you can do dramatic stuff, you can do family-friendly stuff, and you can do stuff for adults. And I definitely feel like Invincible knew what it was trying to aim for and did it really well. It was just a really, really good show. I like the animation in it. I think the voice cast is really good in it. It's a mix of celebrities and voice actors, but the people who are doing the voices are people who normally have done voices before or are new, but are killing it, you know? And there's a lot of killing in it. It was just nice to see something cool like this. It was just nice to have a new thing. Yeah, it's still a superhero thing, so it's not that far removed, but it still was just nice to have something that was about superheroes, but just something a little bit different, a little bit unique, and a little bit, you know, more mature. But when I say more mature, I don't just mean the blood and the gore and the violence. I also mean like the relationships, the themes that were going on with this, the way that all the different characters were interacting with each other, the types of choices that each of them made. Some of them we were expecting and some were a little surprising. Like, I just feel like that's always nice when you can have another superhero thing out there and yet it still surprises you with something that you feel like you haven't seen before or recently. And that's totally what Invincible did, and I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for going on this journey with me. I know it wasn't at the time that the show came out. I'm only one person, but I did find the time to watch this, and I did enjoy it, and I hope that you enjoyed the series as well as my recap. And if you have not seen the series, for some reason you watched this first, cool. There's still some stuff I didn't mention, so you can still be surprised with a lot of stuff. I hope that you do check it out on Prime Video if it's something that intrigues you. If you have Prime Video, because there's so many streaming services out there. I can understand if you're starting to make some choices, but I'm glad you made the choice to watch me here on my YouTube channel. If you are new here, I hope you subscribe, and I hope everyone gives this video a thumbs up if you like it, because that always helps me out. Thank you so much. As always, I love you like a play cousin. I'm Audi 5000. Stay invincible in your way of life. Does that even make sense? Probably not. I'll make a clone and he'll do better.